occurred right now.
Y'all are starting this morning on fire, and I am here for it. I love it. All right, let's jump right in and just find out who wins these debates this morning. Swapping LeBron for KD, guys, that would be a move certainly that would send shockwaves around the NBA. According to Bleacher Report, both Los Angeles and Brooklyn would benefit from a move like that. The King would get his wish in reuniting with Kyrie Irving, while KD gets the fresh start he's looking for. Shannon, go first. Would you be a yes or a no to this trade?
If I'm the Lakers, I would absolutely be a yes. Temporarily, because theoretically, Skip, you would have Kevin Durant under contract for this season and 3 more seasons. And LeBron James isn't under contract after this season. But we all know how that goes when Kevin Durant's under contract. He might be unhappy, and then guess what? He'll be gone after the first year. It doesn't make sense for the Nets, Skip, because, like I said, LeBron is only under contract for this season, and he'll be gone, and you have an asset in Kevin Durant. And you've been preaching since day one. Josiah, what are you thinking? Why would you trade Kevin Durant when you have him under contract for 4 more years? Kevin Durant, why would he want to go to L.A., Skip, and reunite with Russell Westbrook when you said 5 years ago the reason why he left OKC was because of Russell Westbrook? LeBron, why would he want to go to the Nets? Yes, Kyrie's there, and they had a great basketball relationship. But he's going to leave one guy in Russell Westbrook who can't shoot for another guy in Ben Simmons who's afraid to shoot. That makes sense for LeBron. How? LeBron has had 3 opportunities as a free agent to join any of the New York teams. He was a free agent. He left to go to Miami. He didn't even give him a passing thought. He was a free agent and went back to Cleveland. He didn't give him a passing thought. He was a free agent and went to L.A. He didn't give him a passing thought. And now somehow you think in year 20 he would be excited to play in New York. He likes playing in the Garden. He does. Everybody likes playing in the Garden. From Jordan to Kobe, and some of the biggest performance, not just athletic-wise, has happened in the Garden. But for me, Skip, when I look at it, I don't think either guy would be happy with the trade. I don't think Kevin Durant wants any part of playing in L.A. with the scrutiny that comes along with being a superstar playing for the Lakers. And LeBron wants no parts of being in Brooklyn or New York, any part of New York. So for me, Skip, it doesn't make sense. I get it. 2 big superstars for a superstar. Yeah, you're probably not going to have it because the salaries match up, and you're not going to have to give up any other compensation other than the player swap. One player goes here, the other player goes there. But when you look at it in its totality and what transpired, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, Shannon Sharp, I tell you many days on the show that I go into every evening as we look over the topics that we have, and then we go into the game-watching part of the evening, and I continue to read breaking news stories and digest them, compute them, eyes wide open. What is really going on here? So I'm just an open book every night as I watch things transpire up on the TV screen and down on my computer screen.
Okay.
And when this story popped up last night on Bleacher Report, I always read it with eyes wide open.
Okay.
Oftentimes on these kinds of stories, I get quickly skeptical, like, oh, wait a second, that's just ridiculous.
Right.
And many times
somebody's just throwing something out there.
I get about halfway through and I say, next. I'm wasting my time on this and my breath. As I read through this one, and I read point after point after point, I kept waiting to say no, and I said yes, 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 yes. I got to the bottom of this one, and I said, you know what? This has been hiding in plain sight. The most obvious trade of all was the least obvious because no one really thought to say, well, wait a second, why are we talking only about Kyrie? Why are we just fixated on Westbrook? Who are the big guns here? Who are the 2 principals here? Well, it's KD, who I think is the best player on the planet, and LeBron James, whom you still think is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Somehow I think he's the phony GOAT. But those are the 2 biggest names in basketball, and their salaries effectively match straight up. And if you look harder and harder at their plights right now, again, I've been dug in on this point and principle that if I'm Josiah, as you point out, I can say, Kevin, I got you for 4 more years.
Yes.
And in good faith, we signed a contract.
Right.
You owe me at least a couple of those 4 years. I'm going to force your hand to stay here and play. But you've told me repeatedly from that side of the table,
yes,
Kevin's not going to sit still for that. his brother told me pointedly on Twitter he's not going to sit still for that because he gave it a hell with that, did the brother, and a hell with me for saying that Joe Tsai would keep him in Brooklyn, right?
Well, if I'm Joe Tsai, I should I'll get on my Twitter and I'm going to tweet. Kevin Durant, P&P, pout and play. That's what you're going to be in Brooklyn this year, pout and play.
Shannon Sharpe has been telling me that it's only going to be pout. There's going to be way more pout than play, and it will not effectively, in the end, be worth it to Joe Tsai to force him to play.
I don't believe he'll be one, Skip. I don't believe he'll be one of those guys where, although he'll be pouting, he'll be disappointed that he didn't get moved. I don't think it will affect his play. I don't think Kevin Durant will lash out.
So now you're starting to trend back toward my take, my original take, that he's going to be a net next year, whether he likes it or not.
Skip, I don't know if I'm just saying, I don't believe, Skip. Now, you know, like some people, like if they don't get their way, they're going to make things very uncomfortable. And I think you'll get the sense that Kevin Durant doesn't want to be there. But as far as lashing out or his behavior that becomes destructive to the team, I don't believe Kevin Durant would do that. Would he be pouting? Yes. Would he be mopey? Absolutely. But he's still going to come out there and drop 29, 30 on you.
Okay, I got it. And I agree with that premise here. But if I operate under the premise that he'll effectively not ever be quite happy,
well, that's everywhere you're going to go.
Okay, if in truth that I believe that KD and Kyrie have fallen out, as in fallen apart, as in bridges at least on fire, if not completely burned, then all of a sudden it starts to make more and more sense to look harder and harder at the trade that was hiding in plain sight, because salaries match, and then let's do LeBron first. It would not hurt him to play the Palace, as I call it. You can say he's playing for the Brooklyn Nets as opposed to the New York Knicks. But Brooklyn is still a borough of New York City. You are still in the Big Apple market, right? Right. It would not hurt LeBron's legacy or his aura to at least play a couple of years in the Big Apple. It would. I get you that he passed. He gave it a passing thought, passing thought, passing thought. I got that. He's going on 38 years of age.
Yes.
He's going into year 20. It wouldn't hurt to cap it off in the Big Apple. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's not like he's going to go to Seattle or something. No offense to Seattle, but it wouldn't. It's not like he's going off, sort of off the grid to some city where you'd say, what? Even though he started in Cleveland, but he grew up near Cleveland.
Correct.
So that was cool. That worked.
Right.
All right. Now we look at what would happen. Well, he gets out from under Westbrook. He gets to leave it all behind, and he gets to get out from under a roster that doesn't suit his skills, because LeBron needs snipers everywhere. Brooklyn's got snipers everywhere.
They got one sniper, Seth Curry. Joe Harris, they're trying to get rid of Joe Harris.
Okay, but all he did was win three-point shooting contest, right?
But that's not what you were saying last year when he couldn't throw it in the ocean against Milwaukee.
But during the regular season, he can snipe it, man.
No.
I'm not talking about when push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Taking the Kyle Korver shot from the corner that I said, what are you doing?
I just wanted to make some routine shots when he was wide open.
Okay, but you're talking about against Milwaukee.